Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Once again, new series for us here, the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup Series. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Rocky Game 150 brought to you by Jinx Shifters. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Jason over here, Signature Esports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to round number 1 in the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup Series playoff push. We got ourselves a fantastic race here with the severe weather country 150 laps here at Chicagoland Speedway. This is going to be a fun-filled night where desperations are starting to get a little high as this season is ending. I am joined in the booth by Mr. Alan English. Alan, how you doing tonight, man?
Great, man. Looking forward to 225 miles of action tonight in these Cup cars. These guys are the top-tier drivers in Midwest Days of Thunder Racing League, the Cup Series. So these cars handle pretty well. We'll see how they handle here today with these guys running around this mile-and-a-half track. You know, you don't have the banking here that you have at some other mile-and-a-half, so we'll see. We should still see some decent speeds here, though.
That indeed. As we're down there on pit road, we got Mr. Adam Turner. Now, Adam, it's playoff time, so these guys are going to be aggressive, and that means there might be a little bit of action going down there in the pits.
Yeah, everybody's going to get a little hyped up. It's time for the playoffs. As long as we don't see, what we normally see in Chicago, which is bullets flying and people dying, I think we're going to have a good time. Chicago is a crazy place, crazy track, but I think it's a good one for the beginning race of the playoffs for this series. And yeah, man, I want to see something happen. I want to see some sparks fly. And I think we will. At some point in this race, but it's a long one, and the track is still pretty warm at 91 degrees.
Absolutely. As we take a look at today's conditions, a very egg-shaped track Chicagoland is, as these drivers drive around for quite a while. I think this is probably going to be one of the longest mile-and-a-halves that these guys face just about all year round. And like you said, kind of a little hot down there right now, but we got some clouds rolling in. It's looking to be a solid night of racing, and our key to the race here today really isn't too much to do with the race, but just overall, and tonight it's finish well. Round number 1 in the playoffs. You don't want to put yourself behind the 8 ball with a bad performance here. Yeah,
and that would have been the key of the race, no matter what the track. I think for that reason, because I think they have 2 races per round, right? So you still have to do well in at least one of them to kind of put yourself up near the top in the standings. Because say if you have a bad week next week, you might be moved down to the GTFO part of the list where you're going to be gone. And a lot of these guys don't want to do that. They want to advance to the next round.
we watch these guys finish up in practice here, we're going to go right on into qualifying, and no Manny Valdez this week, so someone who normally starts up there at the front, going to be an empty slot for one of these drivers to take away here as these guys start to head out onto that track. Let's, you know what, let's go around with Mr. John Neidick as he kind of shows us the way around this track.
He's got that new paint scheme, John Neidick Racing. Looks like on his car. Really cool stuff. Ohio boy, we talk a lot about him, but you think the playoffs mean something? I bet they mean something to him.
We're going to get a good idea of how much these guys are having to lift. Maybe not on this lap because it's this out lap. Watch these RPMs settling around 8,500, 8,600. It's like he's wide open almost. Just barely lifting. It may just be from the track. Wide open here. 8,600 RPM.
Hitting 184 miles per hour there.
It sounds like he's running wide open all the way around here.
That it does.
I wonder how many laps they're going to be able to do that for.
Probably not many, to be honest, as he puts in a pretty good time there. Let's it's currently sitting there in third, Mr. Johnny Neidick. As right now we got Tony Fry sitting up there in that number one spot. Let's see, Mr. Michael Pimpere kind of coming across and finishing up his first lap. And a lot of these times we were seeing it in practice, they were fairly close.
Yeah, hopefully they do stay pretty tight.
So far, John Neidick's outdone Greg Klein by just a hair.
Is that 80 Where's the Beef Wendy's machine? Slowing down, looks like, after his run. So tonight's race brought to you by Severe Weather Country Expeditions. So if you really want to do something crazy in your life, something to get your adrenaline going, these guys do guided storm chasing tours in the Central Plains of the U.S. So look these guys up, Severe Weather Country Expeditions. They have all the information online. You can see what all the packages include, what time of year, what you can expect to see when you're out there on one of these expeditions. So, sounds very interesting.
No, it looks totally cool. And it's kind of like going on a guided hunt or something, you know? These guys are taking care of you. You got the hotels and all the meals and stuff. They got it all figured out where they're going, how they're going to see this tornado or whatever. They're going to see carnage. And it's, like you said, adrenaline junkie. You might as well sign up for that.
Yeah, you might as well.
Severe Weather Country Expeditions.
And to answer the question from Grumpy Gramp Racing on the Facebook of will Derek Schimmel qualify? Well, I will. I will be willing to put my entire next paycheck on he will not.
A lot of times those angry idiots, teammates will get together and decide whether or not they're going to all not qualify or, you know, who is or isn't qualifying. But I guarantee you they're sitting in Discord right now trying to talk about maybe a little bit of pit strategy.
Yeah.
What are your guys' predictions? You think we're going to see a bunch of yellows here tonight, or you think this track's wide enough that we're going to have a lot of green flag laps?
Well, my prediction is, this is the top of the, top notch of this series, Midwest Days of Thunder. Kind of a smaller car count, I would say. Only 16 cars right now, and they're all most of them are in the playoffs here, obviously. So I don't think we're going to see much at a track like this. If we see it, we're going to see it late, and we're going to see some hatred fly, at the end. But I think it's going to go pretty smooth,
Mike,
for the first 100 laps or so.
Red Stick Michael Simone came within 100th, and look right behind him, Greg came within 100th of him. So, very, very, very tight top four here.
Yes, indeed, as our drivers do finish their qualifying time. So let's head on down and check out this starting grid for today. The number 8 of John Neidick taking pole position. Mike Simone just fallen a little bit short there, but he's going to be starting on that outside in P2. 92 of Greg Klein will be starting in third, with the 24 of Joe Neidick starting in fourth. You got the 64 of Tony Fry starting in fifth, with Justin Malarkey starting here sixth. Alan Dixon, the Iceman, is going to be starting in seventh, with Matt Forns in eighth. William Brown going to be starting here ninth, with Justin Barkley, the 22 Mac and Cheese, going to be rounding out that top 10.
The 5 of Tabor Mowry starting in 11th. The 80 in the Where's the Beef car, Sneaky Pete Vance Brundle in 12th. The 21 of Michael Pampere starting 13th. The 70, that colorful number 70 we got out there, Stephen McComas starting in 14th. Eric Fiorillo in the Coke, number 25, starting 15th. Stephen Davis, I think, is adminning tonight. I'm not sure that he's going to grid a car. And then we got the 96, the angry idiot himself, Derek Schindler.
Yes, indeed. As these drivers do continue to kind of pit and do whatnot, so let's show you guys what the playoffs are gonna look like. Each round has 2 races up until the championship race at Kentucky. You can see there you've got Justin Malarkey, you've got like Eric Fiorello, like pretty much everybody you see here in this race today. They're all racing and trying to get that win to guarantee themselves up into that next round.
Yeah, North Wilkesboro is going to be the great equalizer next week, as that is the second and final race of this round. So going from Chicagoland, where it's really fast, to a classic old slow short track, it's going to be a lot of action next week. I can't wait.
Well, and not only that, after that, isn't it Road America? I mean, you talk about 2 equalizers in a row.
Road America and Talladega in the next round. That's going to be nuts.
That's pretty wild. I mean, that's kind of like rolling dice in Waco. You guys know that story. You might roll snake eyes every time, and it's a crapshoot. Anybody can win this. It's up for grabs, and that schedule right there can tell you exactly that. I mean, this is going to be fun.
Yes, indeed. As this pace car leads these guys around to take the green flag for the first time, and getting ready to do just that is John Neidick and Mike Simone up there on that front row. The pace car coming down pit road with the flag guy ready, and away we go. Green flags waving here at the SWC 150 in Chicagoland. A solid start up here, up in the front. Nice 2 wide racing going on here into turn number 1. Looks like that 8 of John Neidick's able to get a little bit of run on that inside line, and Greg Klein's able to follow him almost all the way through. He's now side by side Mike Simone, him right there right now, and Mike Simone drifting all the way up to the wall, and 3 wide up here for second place. You got Joe Neidick sitting in between these two.
4 wide.
Ryan there on the low side. Here comes Tony Fry on the inside of the 24. God, you talking about mixing it up early on lap 1, man.
Yeah, just a little bit more than I expected for sure. Wow.
And Tony Fry using that white line apron that you are allowed to drive down when you come towards that start-finish line. So he used that to his advantage there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make up any spots, but his name was getting thrown into the mix pretty early as. First couple drivers up here at the front are just about single filed out. Looks like Joe Neidick's going to try to overtake Mike Simone right now on this kind of back straightaway, and man, it's going to be interesting seeing interesting to see as these guys go along what line they're going to choose, as we got a whole slew of cars back here, vying for a top 10 that they're all 2 wide, and I saw there for a second, 3 wide.
A little extra incentive for these guys to take care of that car and not take too big a chance early and get it wadded up. As Adam, as you know, these guys do not have any fast repairs. Any repairs are going to take the full amount of time that they normally would, hammering on it down in the pits.
Yeah, and that's why another reason I thought we were going to see a pretty clean race, at least up to 100.
Yeah.
And you want to keep your eye on number 73 car, Justin Malarkey. This guy just tears through the field. And I think we're going to see him do the same here in the first 30 laps or so.
As Greg Klein catches back up to that back bumper of the 8 and is able to pass him, he's now got Joe Neidick also looking inside of Cousin John.
Yeah, good to see that 92 running well up front. One of the Angry Idiots, one of our old teammates, the 92, running that Andolini's Pizzeria paint up front in that 92, looking sharp.
Sounds like a good piece of joint. I guess it's up there in Tulsa.
I believe it is.
Have to try that sometime. But Greg Klein's always fast. I'd like to see him have a real clean race because he's put a lot of effort into this thing.
Well, he's one of those guys that loves to save tires too, and we talk about him a lot in that respect. But not really holding anything back right now, as he's letting them have it, trying to put a little gap on the 24 Joe Neidick.
As back here you got Alan Dixon and Mike Simone battling it out for a top 5. Looks like Alan Dixon will win that fight for right now, as we've kind of seen these top 6 drivers pull away from the people behind them just a little bit. I think Justin Malarkey might be saving some tires for later on, knowing this thing's got the potential of going flag to flag here, and if it's going to be a green flag pit stop situation, you want to not be on completely dead tires when it gets to it.
Fact. Don't adjust your TV set or your monitor, whatever you're watching this on. That number 5, that is not the Busch Latte or the Busch Light car this week. He's got a new sponsor on that 5 machine. It's red. It's almost hard to find Taver on the track. His car's red.
That indeed, as these guys kind of still try to crawl up to each other's bumpers. It looks like now that we're almost 10 laps into this stint, it's getting a little harder to get up and around people, as Matt Fornes looked like he had a run on Pete Van Sprundle but wasn't able to really get that thing completed in time when the turn came up on him. So he's going to slide right back in behind him and ride it on out.
So trying to pass people right now is just going to wear your tires out, isn't it, Adam? These guys are just wanting to click off some laps right now, I think.
Yeah, it's early. Let's let it go for a little bit and kind of just pace yourself and kind of learn the track and how it's going to change. But you're talking about paint schemes. Another unfamiliar paint scheme, the number 27 car. And he's set in P6. Red Stick Mike Simone. It says hashtag FJB. I believe that means Let's Go Brandon. He's got a new paint scheme today.
I went to school down here. I'm not really sure that my grammar is good enough to. I don't think those letters make sense.
It's complicated, but it's.
Oh, okay.
Let's go, Brandon.
You have to explain it to me.
FJB equals Let's Go, Brandon.
Oh, okay, I got you.
That's the 48 of William Brown looking up the inside of Malarkey. It looks like he will be able to get that pass done. And other than the kind of the start here, we haven't seen too many people drop down to that apron. I think they realize it unsettles the car just a little bit too much, and they really don't gain all that much for it. As Malarkey on that outside getting a little bit of a run, looking to maybe sneak his nose back to the inside of the 48, and he will. So these two are going to go side by side through 3 and 4 as
Brown not giving him any room.
Man, oh man! And here comes Pete Van Sprundle. He was trying to look to maybe take that thing 3 wide right up that middle.
Taver on the apron, passing everybody. Oh man, look at the momentum.
Yeah.
And we're still 3 wide. You got Taver, Malarkey, Forns. Man, oh man, we weren't kidding when we said get a good finish here. All these drivers know it, and man, they're trying to.
Hashtag Let's Go Taver.
Yeah. Man,
He just made up some spots.
22 car, Justin Barkley also has a Let's Go Brandon machine. This Brandon guy is popular.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
That's Tony Fry up here at the front's making a pass on Joe Neidick to try to take away second, but just not able to make that run stick, and he's going to end up losing a couple positions by the look of it.
Another cool paint scheme, that Rainier beer machine of the 10 of Matt Forns. You know, October is breast cancer awareness month, so let that be a reminder to you. That's why a couple of these guys are running pink. Let your loved ones know it's a good reminder to check yourself out, go get yourself tested or whatever, because breast cancer, man, it is a killer.
Yeah, well, there's colors that'll never go out of style. That's the red, white, and blue of Mike Pimpere. He's up there battling with them too. So, guys, really good race so far, about 10 through 13. I think we're going to see a lot of this as we push forward.
Even behind them. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
I was going to say, someone who really benefited from that Fry and Neidick battle that was going on, that's Alan Dixon. Normally we see him kind of laying back and taking his time, but man, oh man, he's up into second right now.
Yeah, some really cool action out on the track, and I don't know if anybody's commenting or anything. If they got any good comments, we'd like to hear from y'all.
Check the medias once more.
Out there in the
Yeah, we got
world.
on YouTube. We got Max Westonskow saying, "Let's go, William Brown 48." He's pulling for Brown. Adam S saying, "What's up, fellas? Looking forward to the race." Thanks for joining us, y'all. And yeah, if you're following us on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook, feel free to comment. Let us know your predictions for this race.
As William Brown is shuffling through this field like a man possessed, he's made up 3 positions in 2 laps. He's now looking to the inside of Tony Fry to take over 5th. So William Brown started here in 9th, now up into 5th.
He's one of those guys that runs pretty solid every week, and it's really no surprise that he's moved up and he's where he's at in that 48.
Yeah, well, these guys are racing for the, just to get in for next week. I don't know what is the cut line here. How many drivers are we going to lose this week? 4. Do some.
I believe it's 4. Let me go back and look at the little
I thought we cut it down in half.
banner.
Well, we could. I'm not good at math either. Yeah, we
Just a second.
went to
I'll
public
tell
school,
you.
kind of like.
Oh, we're gonna lose 4. So
lose 4.
cutting it from what do we got now? 16. 1, 2,
16
3,
down to
4,
12.
Yep, 16 down to 12, and then the next round you'll lose 4 more, and then 4 more. That's just like NASCAR does it. They cut 4 at a time, and then your final race, the A&J's Custom Creations 175 at Kentucky. That'll be your final 4, battling it out for the 2021 MDOT Champion Trophy.
Well, the only thing I got to say is, remember when I said we had kind of like a little bit of a gap between the 2 packs? Well, that's not the case anymore. Everybody is all over each other, as Matt Forns back here is trying to take away 8th from Mike Simone, trying to make that bottom line stick. And I mean, this field's tightened up. What was a spread out field, man, right here, kind of like in this middle to the back area, it's gotten racy.
I'm kind of surprised we're seeing 2 wide again, because we saw some 2 wide, then we went single file. Now we're seeing more 2 wide again. So
Yeah, that feller in the number 10 car, he's just kind of getting past now, but it looks like Taylor's trying to make a run on him.
go get it, feller.
Good run for him so far tonight, though.
Yeah,
and,
he's running
number
strong.
10, Rainier Beer Machine.
Oh, contact!
Down. Oh, right up in front of Forens.
Uh-oh, I heard some anger. Something
John
happened to the
Nidek
Nidek
got a turn.
machine. He is not happy.
Look between the 8 and the 48 up front got together. Nidek went off the track, came back up the track right in front of Forns, and Forns had nowhere to go.
Yeah, but I'm wondering what caused that with the Nidek. I'm going to go ahead and do some research here. Put some man hours in. Because this is my deal. There's a lot of anger out there on the track right now.
Well, you know what? Let's go take an action replay of that. They were side by side, little bit of contact going on, and man, it took some heck of a skill from John to save that. It just kind of looked like a little racing incident for me. Just, you know, I mean,
48 might have slid up just a touch.
it was definitely tight racing there, but that is what I think happened as
Yeah.
kind of
The
back.
guy that saw the worst of that was Forns.
And I just mentioned him. I'm sorry about that, feller. That was probably my bad. But yeah, Brown. I mean, it was a racing incident. But 48 did come up on him, and number 8 was not happy, and I don't think he'll be happy for the rest of the night.
Well, he knows that he doesn't have a fast repair. They're going to have to be beating and banging on that car next time that he comes into the pits. Hopefully they can get a little bit of that rear end damage fixed.
As William Brown continues his charge up through this pack, he's now overtaking Joe Nidek. So William Brown up here into third and quickly running down first and second. Same thing with Alan Dixon. He's caught up to that back bumper of Greg Klein up here at the front too. So gonna be on the lookout for these guys.
And like I was talking about earlier, Malarkey is just kind of working his way forward, and you know what? So is Tabor Mowry. We've seen him have some good runs and kind of gets, I guess you would call it screwed at the end or something. So hopefully he has a good
wrong
clean
place,
run.
wrong time sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of like
for that
number 8.
5.
The number 8 car was same thing for him just now.
That 80 Where's the Beef Wendy's machine is making tracks, though. He's up 7 spots sitting in 5th. Good run for the 80 car. Where's the beef? I love that paint.
Where's the beef? Well, I think the beef's Long Island, New York right now.
The beef might be in the pits hereafter.
That's a fact. As I'm
Where
looking at
must
the
be?
beat up car of the John Nidek, his car's tore up. I don't know if he's going to lose any power, what's going on with it. But he's down here in 14th now, and he was running really quick before that incident.
Looks like, is that Barkley's got a bunch of rear end damage. I wonder where that came from. Looks like somebody getting in the back of the 22.
I think it came from the same incident. As people were slowing down, he might have.
Maybe you're right.
But hey, they held it. We didn't have a yellow, which, kudos to these guys for keeping it at least off the yellow.
Well, you
Looks
know,
like-
you
Go
know
ahead.
why Barkley has some damage, right?
Why?
Where's the mac and cheese paint?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the back neck there says "Send noodles," not the bad one y'all are thinking of, the noodles. But they wiped the paint off of that. But it's got a Let's Go Brandon on the front of it, so I don't know what's going on.
He ruined his luck, man. That's what it is.
All right.
Every time he changes from the mac and cheese paint, something happens to him.
As kind of looking at that front of Matt Forens, it doesn't look too terrible. He's kind of dropping back just a little bit right now, but I think just a little quick repair in the pits at some point will get him back up there. Someone else who hasn't really made much noise, that's Michael Pimpere, currently sitting 13th, right where he started, and not really moving up or moving back too much here. And you know what? That's okay. This is a long race. Still a long way to go. As I got a feeling we're probably going to start seeing pit stops right around lap 40.
Yeah, I think I'd be struggling for tires right now if I was out there. And I think they're just doing their best to kind of put the laps down, put them behind them, and get to the next pit stop.
You think these guys are starting to lift a little bit, especially like going into 3?
Yeah, my people out there on the track are telling me yes. There's a lot of lifting going on. 1 and 3, I think we're seeing some lifting. So, and it happens. You're running out of tires. The track's changing. You know, you're gonna have to lift a little bit.
I'm gonna ride around cockpit for a second with Nidec on my own monitor. Oh yeah, big lift in here.
Which Nidec, Joe or John?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm riding with William Brown right now. He just lifted quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm listening to the scanners. I got my boots are on the ground. My ears are to the ground as well.
Yeah, this is
I have a lot of
drive.
I have a lot of insider information in this league, and they're definitely lifting right now.
As right in front of William Brown, they're side by side for the lead. Alan Dixon and Greg Klein. William Brown just trying to maybe pick a moment to make a move as they go down into turn number 1. And looks like Greg Klein really sticking to that outside line and just able to keep the lead here. And now you got the 48 trying to follow suit, and he will. So now William Brown up into second. Alan Dixon sliding back into third, and Greg Klein, he's got a monster on his hands in that rearview mirror now.
Yeah, 48's been running strong. 31's going to stick with him. I think he may wait for a better time to strike here. It's heating up behind him. Pete Van Sprundle's put some pressure on Joe Nidec, trying to maybe sneak his bumper inside that left rear quarter panel. Let's see if he can do it. Looks like he's going to attempt it right here. I don't think he's got enough momentum to complete that pass, but 80 trying to make a move on 24. Still side by side.
As they're side by side up here for the lead once again, William Brown inside Greg Klein as they go down into turn number 1. Still Greg just trying to hang on, but I think William Brown will take that position away, and that's going to give an opportunity for Alan Dixon to kind of follow William Brown through. So now Greg's got to be careful here, otherwise he's going to slip from the lead down to third in the span of 1 lap. Looks like they're still going to be able to manage to stay side by side as they cross the line once again here on lap 37.
Brown's loving to see that in his rearview mirror. It just means he can put a little bit bigger of a gap on him and give himself some breathing room.
Yeah, but in all reality, these guys need to take care of their car because, hey, they're sitting pretty right now for the, this could help them advance, so I wouldn't go too crazy and just fight just yet.
And if you win, you're in. If whoever wins tonight and whoever wins next week will automatically advance to the next round.
Yeah, well, that may be why we're seeing a little fighting up here, but I mean, we're still lap 38, so
long way to go.
A super long way to go. And as Pete Van Sprundle, he made his pass, and this guy is such an improved driver from what we've seen in the last couple seasons. Really running well as he's coming up on Alan Dixon in a 31 car.
Maybe a couple of laps away from seeing some pit stop action.
That's what I think is kind of up here for 8th. We got Mike Simone and Tony Fry. It looks like Mike Simone using that bottom line to his liking and able to get around Tony, but Tony getting a nice run coming off of the corner. Had the opportunity to maybe peek back inside and kind of cross him over, but not really going for it that hard quite yet. And the thing we got to watch for as Joe Nidec, the 24, comes down pit lane.
It's like your first taker here is he's going to start the action here.
Yeah, well, he probably needs a little reset there. Oh, William Brown's coming down.
Yep, William Brown coming down to the pits and just in time for Pete Van Sprundle to be making a pass on Greg Klein, or at least attempting to here up that inside. Pete Van Sprundle having a fantastic race here today. Currently 10 spots up. If he can take over that lead, that'll be 11 spots up. But now if you're Greg Klein and know that William Brown's pitted, you got to start thinking about coming down. And when you got a car on that inside, you really can't.
No,
That's a great point. Yeah.
a very good point. He has no chance to pit unless he backs off the throttle a whole bunch and even brakes. So
Thorns
gonna
and
be-
Barkley.
that's going to be interesting to see how that works out.
Thorns and Barkley also came in for full service. Now 31 looks like he's going to get stuck in that outside line.
Yep.
Keep in mind, folks, these guys do get a point for leading the lap, so I think that was on the 80 car's mind.
Yeah, looks like Greg Klein not quite ready to pit just yet, as he stays out here another lap. And again, we're up here in the booth. We're not physically driving these cars, so we couldn't tell you what these drivers are feeling. But I got a feeling this is a mistake for some of these guys for staying out. I think you got to pit.
Hopefully they don't stay out there too long. You look at the lap times. They're now 2 seconds, damn near 2 seconds slower than they were at the beginning of this thing. So that makes a lot of difference, even on a mile and a half like this. 2 seconds, that's a corner,
Is that the point where you as a crew chief, if you were a crew chief and you would say, hey, it's time to come in, when you're 2 seconds difference, is that kind of like an indicator?
I don't think that would be the trigger point. And it depends. I mean, Greg's one of those guys that can save tires pretty well, and he's still running a tenth faster than a couple of the closest cars behind him. But a tenth over 2 seconds, which is what these other guys are running.
I think he keeps coming down.
Yeah, they may be able to unlap themselves here before too long. Tell you what, though, 92 is coming in this lap. Heard him on the radio. So it looks like, exactly 2 seconds, Adam. 32.41 and 30.41. So
Okay, so
I guess that's what Greg was thinking. 2
yeah,
seconds.
so
All right, I'm going.
there may be something to that. There may be something to that they you once you're 2 seconds down, time to hit the pits. I don't know. I'm not good at this stuff. I just enjoy watching it.
Sound like Dixon coming in as well.
Yeah, so unless Malarkey comes down, he's going to get that bonus point for leading the lap, and it looks like Malarkey will be staying out here. So just Malarkey getting that lead lap bonus point, and
David Mowry not interested in that bonus point as he's coming down.
Yeah, Tony Fry also staying out. Looks like Michael Pimpere as well staying out. So still quite a few guys yet to pit. Stephen McComas also being one of them. He's going to currently slide up into fourth as these things cycle right on around. And, I mean, this is going to be one of those interesting races where, they're essentially pitting on 45, which means they're depending on cautions and little stuff like that. Next pit would be 90, and then the next pit would be 135. Just rough guesstimate. So that's that'll leave like a very short stint of like 15 laps here at the end if that's what they decide to do.
And something you got to think about, the 73 who's leading this race right now, he's the only guy out there that has somebody talking in his ear right now in Isaac Wilson, who is his crew chief and spotter. Oh, he's coming in.
As he's coming in, and William Brown, just as he was coming in, unlapped himself there. So this thing is slowly starting to cycle around.
So McComas needs a caution. Nope, he's coming in. So everybody's going to come in and get their stop done. So full cycle complete. I was kind of hoping we'd have like a little mix-up or something.
Well, we did, and there's a lot of hatred out there for that little incident.
I mean, to shake up the pit strategy a little bit.
Oh, I'm just thinking about all that
I know
anger.
how your mind works.
But Yeah, it's kind of shaking out how we thought so far. I mean, I am surprised that we got so racy so early, Brown. Yeah, we saw kind of quite a bunch of stuff going on in the front there. Guys just trying to fight for that lead, but
Yeah.
so far, kind of what we predicted, right? So
Just-
I think we keep going. We're going to see some more stuff happen.
I think so, as Joe Nidick, kind of with that little bit of a short stop strategy, is able to catch the lead here, and he's going to be leading this thing. He's got a little over a second and a half on William Brown, and William Brown's not gaining all that much on him, if at all. So Joe Nidick having an interesting early strategy going on.
Oh, I feel bad now because Malarkey's crew chief / spotter, Isaac Wilson, packet loss. Yeah, I didn't know the
Lost his
broadcaster.
packets?
I didn't know the broadcaster curse also worked for spotters and crew chiefs, but I guess it does.
He'll try to work his way back in there so he can help him out. But we're just going to rip some laps off. What are we, 1/3 of the way through this thing?
Yes,
so
sir.
far? So,
That we are.
long way to go.
But let me tell you about being glued to the hip to somebody. Alan Dixon and Greg Klein, they pitted on completely different laps. You know, they'd been riding next to each other just about the entire dang race. And look at where they came out. They came out, Greg just behind Dixon, and Greg just now able to overtake him as looks like they're trying to get around, I believe.
Going to a
That's
mark.
Mike's
Barkley, let's go Brandon, 22 car.
But man, both Alan Dixon and Greg Klein, they have been inseparable this entire race.
And they're not teammates, folks. They're just two guys that are running similar times, similar styles, I think. Both really patient drivers, as we know. So looks like they're going to rip off a few laps, as Adam likes to say, right next to each other. And
Well, and they're both good at it, like you said. They're both good drivers,
Yeah.
so they'll probably do karate in the garage if they get themselves in the podium together. They might have just become best friends. I don't know, but they both need some help up there to kind of catch up. So you got to find somebody that'll work with you, and it looks like these two are doing that.
Pete Van Sprundle sitting in third spot in that 80 Wendy's machine, up 9 positions. Great run for him. We talked about him earlier. Just an amazing charge to the top, and he's one of those guys that you touched on it a little bit earlier, Adam. He's one of the most improved guys that we've seen. I mean, back in Xfinity and stuff. I'll be honest with you. I raced with him in Xfinity, and he was one of those guys that, and I'm the same way. So, man, I don't really want to get too close to people, and the 80 was one of those too that he was, probably not the most experienced guy on the track like me, and we just kind of try to stay out of people's way and not cause any problems. And now look at him running up in third. I mean, he's just improved so greatly. So congratulations, Pete, on really, it's impressive how much he's improved.
And right now he's got Greg Klein and Alan Dixon starting to crawl their way back up kind of to this little tot group going on. Same thing with William Brown. He's closed that gap down to almost half a second now on the leader of Joe Nidick. So things are starting to get a little tight here once again. But something I was going to mention before we hit those green flag pit stops was, although, just about everybody in here is in the playoffs, not everybody is in the playoffs. So, if William Brown gets the win here, that is one less win guaranteed for someone to move on.
That was super confusing. Can you explain, sir?
So, if you win, you get
You're in.
you're into the next round, right?
Right, I get that part, but you just threw like some voodoo at me. I kind of had to side swipe it. I got confused, but keep going.
But so if he's currently not, in this season's playoffs.
Okay.
So
Now I'm with you.
if he wins the race, that takes a win away from one of these other people that are in the playoffs of guaranteeing them a spot up there to move on to that next round.
Okay, you had to dumb it down.
Meaning they'll have to be consistent in points and point their way in.
Yes. Okay. You had to dumb it down for the guys on the Red River.
Both of us, yeah.
We get confused, but I understand now.
I never thought about that. We both live within spitting distance of the Red River.
Yeah.
That's great.
We're Red River rats, man.
Yeah. Fact.
But okay, so that goes just a little bit different dynamic in this thing. And William Brown has run a heck of a season, so
Several wins.
It wouldn't be crazy to see him win this thing. For sure.
As he's now caught back up to that bumper of the 24 of Joe Nidick. He's going to look to the inside and make a pass here as they're coming across the line. And it looks like William Brown had the position as a cross, but still not clear of that 24.
Still 15 laps shy of halfway. And there's not any quit in these cars running up here.
Yeah. What I like to see is Eric Fiorello. It just seems like he's just smooth, steady. He's very patient right now. He's up 4 spots. I think he's just trying, to get a top 10 spot so we can guarantee, the next round of the playoffs. If he's just consistent, I think he'll be fine. So sometimes it's better to be safe than to, full send.
Speaking of full send, I think that's one of the new teams that's coming to Cup next season. You'll see a couple of new teams as they're trying to fill out the roster of the Cup season. There's going to be a lot of Xfinity guys moving up into Cup. There's going to be not the huge influx into Xfinity that we've seen in previous years because of the addition of the Truck Series. So guys are going to move from ARCA into Truck, and then from Truck to Xfinity season after next. So a little bit of a gap in drivers maybe, but they'll kind of make that up with guys racing down. You'll see some Cup drivers racing down in Xfinity. You may see Xfinity guys racing down into trucks. I'm not sure if they're going to allow that or not. Stay tuned for details on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of exciting things with the Midwest Days of Thunder League. Look, there's sponsors coming. People are on board. They wanna be a part of this league. There's
Absolutely.
We're getting a high number of drivers in this series. From ARCA all the way to Cup. So it's turning into like a little business. Yeah, and it's really cool, really fun to watch the progression of some of these guys. Oh, we had a little action down there, turn 1, but everything's fine. But yeah, man, Midwest Days of Thunder, check it out, and then check out our sponsors. Today's sponsor, Severe Weather Country Expeditions.
As it looks like Alan Dixon and Greg Klein trying to decide who wants to pass Pete Van Sprundle first, as they flip-flop positions just a little bit, and looks like Dixon will give it a go first. He's going to be on that outside of Van Sprundle and getting that run going down the back, not so straight away. Kind of one of those interesting tracks where it's not exactly straight here. I don't think you're going to find a actually straight part to this place.
Yeah, look at the 5 of Tabor Mowry. He's running pretty
it's
damn fast
Greg,
laps.
Greg Klein going down to the apron. We're 3 wide up here for third. Greg Klein on that bottom line. Pete Van Sprundle in the middle, and Alan Dixon up there on the outside. So this thing's getting tight, and looks like Alan Dixon. Man, I don't know how to call this because they're just flip-flopping back and forth. The only person that's really not moving is Pete Van Sprundle. He's hanging on there in third.
Yeah, I think Alan and Greg there just kind of Yeah, they're giving each other space. They're fighting, but they're not trying to kill each other, which is good in something like this.
So many cars clumped up right now as the 22 kind of looking to the outside of Maury. I don't know if he's going to make that work. Maury's been running some pretty consistent fast laps here. Tough to pass him on the outside. Barkley's going to give it a try here, though, in that 22 machine.
As Taver,
Hey, throw a block on him. That's what it looked like, anyway.
I think that was just the natural progression of the corner of how you kind of drift out there, but that's exactly what it kind of looked out to be. And kind of because of that, the 22 had to check up just a little bit, and that's going to give Justin Malarkey an opportunity to sneak his nose up the inside now and try to make a pass.
Comes a 73 in that Blue Angels machine.
Yeah. The Justins, Malarkey and Barkley, they should be teammates with those names.
Well, they're similar numbers.
Similar names. They're not
Similar
similar
names.
numbers, actually, but as looks like Justin Malarkey will complete that pass.
He will.
Their
Oh,
numbers
as
are both silver.
22 gets a little wiggly down there, and I think maybe scraped a little paint off that wall.
I was just digging in there to grab another bite of macaroni and cheese.
Richard G. on YouTube. Thanks, brother, for joining us. He said, AAA, what's up, fellas? Go Latte. He's pulling for the Latte guys out there because those are his teammates. He is their crew chief extraordinaire. Good to see you, Richard.
Yeah, now get back to work.
Get back to work, throwing cones in the road and pissing people off.
So, we
Don't you have
haven't
a
touched,
shovel to lean on?
yeah, we haven't touched on the teammate aspect here, but there is
Yes,
team
sir.
points system and team points champion, and there's a lot to go for here as this season kind of winds its way down in the playoffs.
So cool that the aspect that the 4-car team thing brings to iRacing, because just look at actual cup racing that you see on TV. You see a lot of cooperation between teams and teammates and sharing of pit strategies and stuff over the same radio channels. These guys have their own Discord chat channels, so they're discussing in each other's ear what they're going to do, kind of in lieu of a crew chief talking to a team owner or something and relaying information to other team members. These guys can direct talk to one another, so
Yeah,
it's instantaneous communication.
Barkley is coming down on pit road. Maybe that's his strategy. Lap 73.
Man, that's very early.
He does have some damage. I don't know if he.
Oh, he spun! He's in the middle of the track. Yells out. What happened with the 8?
I don't know.
Let's go back and see.
We're gonna have to go back and take a look here.
He might have
Oh,
came down right in the side of the 48 and then ended up hitting his cousin in the process. That ain't good.
Well, I think we know what happened there.
31 to Dixon.
Oh.
Also unfortunate. Oh my goodness.
Was the 48 and the 8 involved in that earlier incident?
Yes.
Did he try to door the 48? I don't know.
It didn't. Yeah, and it didn't work. And in turn, he took out the 24 and he took out the 31 in the process. So
Yeah, the anger and
Damn,
hate
John.
is flowing at this point.
well, that's also going to be bad news for William Brown because he's going to have some damage from that impact as well. And I mean, kind of good news for Greg Klein and some of these other guys that were kind of following behind there, they're now able to get all stacked back up and kind of have ourselves a little race off of pit road here.
48, not with very much damage, so I'm not sure the 8 got what he was trying to do there.
Well, I don't want to say what's going on in a driver's head, but he.
I think they posted him, though. I think they posted the 8.
Okay. Well, yeah, he just didn't accomplish his goal, apparently.
Yeah.
We've seen that before, though.
Yeah, it's you feel bad for the guys that it affects that weren't a part of the incident earlier, but now they're suffering the consequences.
Well, race car drivers do not forget, and
That's a fact.
I'm sure during this long season, something else may have happened to get that little rivalry started. So, hey, I'm all for it. I love it, and I do feel bad for the guys who got caught up in it.
Yeah.
Behind them.
Yeah, 31, one of those cars that was running strong all night. He had nowhere to go, and it looks like they're not going to black flag the 8. They're just going to give him an EOL on the restart. So, but he's got so much damage. There's no front end on that car. I'm not sure the 8's going to be competitive anyway, but he's going to be starting in the rear as a result of the causing this caution.
How's that going to affect Barkley? Because I was watching him as that incident went down, and he was in the pits. So looks like he's out there.
Well,
He's
only
right now,
two older tires, so I mean it shouldn't really affect him much.
well, not only that, but he's also currently, I think, trapped a lap down.
Is he? It's hard to tell.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
Well,
He's. It gets confusing with his SDK stuff, but I know he banged the back part of his car out. He got some damage fixed, so that's good.
he may still be on. Yeah, it looks like he might be coming around. I'm not sure.
15th place is what he. Yeah.
We'll have to wait till they cross the line.
He's going to get the wave around, I think. He'll stand on lead lap, but he will be in the rear, it looks like.
I don't know.
Anyway, that was a fun progression of events.
Yes,
John got mandatory damage.
Yeah, things starting to boil over here in round number 1 of these playoffs, and that is starting early. And we always say it, you got to look out for him. He hasn't run the best of race that we've seen from him so far, but he's still not doing too bad. That's Justin Malarkey in that 73. He's going to be starting P2 on the outside of Greg Klein up here.
Tabor, he's going to be starting outside row 2, it looks like, up 7 spots. Tabor in that red number 5 machine. What's the sponsor on that thing? Some kind of energy thing or something? Energy drink or something? Somebody told me a few minutes ago. One of you guys told me. Y'all are trying to find it now, aren't you?
That we are, as we're getting ready to take this green flag once again, and away we go, down and across the line, restacked up and back to green flag racing, down into turn number 1. Justin Malarkey outside of Greg Klein, 2 wide for the lead, as we're just about 2 wide for every single position that's available to these guys. And man, we're still 2 wide. No real big winners or losers there, but it looks like Malarkey just getting a run, kind of coming down that back stretch, and having that high line through 3 and 4 is going to help him out there. He's going to be able to snag that lead away from Greg Klein, as looks like Mike Simone as well sneaking his way through. Same thing with Taver Mowry trying to sneak his way through.
I tell you, one of the winners in this whole deal is the 25 of Eric Fiorello. He is up 8 spots, and with the accidents that happened earlier, he's just taking those spots. And he's making a move right now on the outside of the 24, but looks like the 48's going to have him checked up. 25 in that Coke machine. Eric Fiorello, the Italian stallion from Arkansas. Got a teammate right there, the 92. Let's see if these two can work together. Looks like they're kind of fighting each other for position right now, but it looks like the 25 may have some fresher tires. No, they have the same age tires. 25 just got a hell of a run there.
And man, talk about needing a rhythm when you race here. Greg Klein just continuing to slide back, just not being able to
I wonder what's
necessarily run his line. I mean, I don't think he's got any damage or anything like that. Just
Oh, you know what though? There's always a reason for what he does. This may be a pit strategy thing. He may be just trying to save some tires here. As you got the 96 of the team owner of this Angry Idiots team and that Mountain Dew machine, Derek Schimmel, right behind the 92, going to the outside of North-South Racing's number 10. Derek don't know what he wants to do, does he? He don't know which line he wants to run in.
no, not at all. He's probably just trying to pick a line where no one else is.
Joe Neidick, I'm not sure if he's really got too much damage from that incident caused by the 8 and the 48 getting together. It looks like he's running just as fast as the cars around him here in that 24 machine.
What about the 25 machine, though? This guy's on a tear.
Yeah, looks like he made up a couple more spots. Good eye. He's at 4th spot. Looks like he might be. He's going to have a tough time closing in on 27 Red Stick Mike Simone and trying to make that pass. And that Brandon paint job.
It's definitely trying as the 48 of William Brown trying to maybe make a move up the inside.
I'm going to have to Google this Let's Go Brandon thing, figure out what that's all about.
It's kind of a movement, you know. Yeah. I mean, that movement's working harder than the real Mrs. Poindexter. I'm going to tell you that for sure. That's a
Oh,
fact.
yeah. She works hard.
Real hard. Yeah, look at that. Red Stick Mike Simone, we've seen him. He just seems to have the little tire fade sometimes. Right now, he's right in the mix with Taver.
No skill fade, though.
No. There's no skill fade with that Louisiana boy.
These guys are all pretty up close to each other. Pete Van Sprundle coming down into the pits here.
Yeah, Pete was running your top 3 earlier. It looks like he might be trying to just shake up the pit strategy just a little bit as he brings that 80 machine in.
Yeah, that's the thinking man's game, you know? This isn't just turning left. There's some brains involved. I know I talk about it all the
Playing
time.
chess, not checkers. Isn't that what you like to say?
I just say that sometimes, but I don't want to say it today. But
I feel
yes.
for you.
Yeah, thank you. You know,
Oh,
what happened there?
I figured out what the FJB means. It means Fred Jones bumpers. Because Fred Jones, as you recall, is Ford Motor Company's OEM parts distributor. Or it used to be back in the day. Fred
Well,
Jones. And it's probably Fred Jones bumpers for Ford trucks, you know, or
Yeah,
Ford TDs, you know,
here's the
run
deal.
Fred Jones bumpers.
You're using Google. They control things, so we'll talk off air. We'll get to the bottom of this at some point. But it's a whole movement, and there's a lot of hatred involved there too.
Well, I had family that worked at Ford, and Ford parts, you know, all that was Fred Jones. And
He's driving a Camaro.
oh, well, that's probably not it then.
Right.
That's awkward.
That's kind of strange, but good race here, man. Having some fun. Watching these guys go around. We've had everything. We've had fights. We've had anger. We've had hatred. We've had good racing. So I think we're on schedule for a great playoffs.
Check our social media feed for a minute or two. On YouTube, we got Richard G back on there again saying, no, get it back together, Latte. He's pulling for his Latte Motorsports teammates out there. He didn't want to see that last caution come out the way it did, involve a couple of his teammates. And don't worry, Richard, they're going to recover. It didn't look like they had too much damage. Appreciate Grumpy Gramps Racing commenting on Facebook too, and they're asking who has the FJB on their car. I guess that's Fred Jones bumpers. I think the 27 and the 22, a couple of the north-south guys have it on there.
As Greg Klein continues to move back, I wonder if he's got a little bit of damage from something that we didn't see, because he's he looks like he's starting to really struggle back there.
The 8 is running way high. Oh man, he's so far off the pace. It looks kind of scary coming around that 8. A bunch of cars getting kind of bunched up there.
Greg does have some, it looks like slight right side damage, but you know, you can never tell what happened underneath the hood, so something's going on with him to be running that slow.
As the 48 makes the pass on the 27 of Mike Simone, so William Brown back up into third. Taver Mallory still kind of sticking to that back bumper of Justin Malarkey up there in second, and kind of a little bit of a gap as things kind of start to trickle down. Eric Fiorello still up there with a top 5. The 24 of Joe Nidick still running pretty solidly right now in sixth, but kind of like the big surprise, even though he's losing a little bit of ground here, everybody's favorite, Angry Idiot, the 96, Derek Schimmel, up 9 spots, currently sitting here in 7th.
Well, he's probably still mad about that. There's no telling with that guy. Good battle here, 9 and 10 with Justin Barkley and the 64 Anthony Fry. They're kind of going after it. Good stuff out here, all over the racetrack.
And look at the 70, Stephen McComas, that real colorful paint scheme he's running this week. Up only 2 spots, but I mean, he's up. He's on the lead lap. He's within striking distance. I mean, don't count out guys like McComas and Forns and these guys that are on the tail end of the lead lap, because we got a hell of a lot of racing left to go.
Good more good racing here. 25, 27, 24. Joe Nidick, Red Stick Mike Simone, and Eric Fiorello battling it out as well. Good, real clean stuff. Awesome. It's the playoffs. You get it while you can, basically.
And that is totally right, as we're approaching pretty quick the 2/3 mark here in this race. So we're coming up on 50 laps to go here, as looks like the 8 of John Nidick coming down pit road, probably to either get more damage done or might be parking it for the night.
Yeah, he's I know he doesn't really have much of a front end left on that car, but you know how iRacing modeling is. He might have had a temp or something getting out of control. You never know.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on him. I don't see him giving up for anything. But hey, you got to get it fixed if it's broken. That's for sure.
It's the 22 looking up the inside of Michael Pimpere. Little battle for 8th and 9th right now. As everyone's all kind of spreading out just a little bit, not too much action going on. Everyone's, I think, just trying to run what their race kind of is. But unfortunately, it kind of looks like those guys that were running it up in that top 3 apart from William Brown, who's still, back up there. But, Greg Klein, unfortunate for Alan Dixon. I think his night is come to a close here. And, sneaky Pete Van Sprundle as well. He came down for an extra long pit stop a little earlier, too.
I've got it. I know what the FJB thing is now. You ever watch Goodfellas? Robert De Niro's character, Jimmy the Gent, Frank James Burke. That's what it is.
No, we're gonna talk.
He's a Goodfellas fan.
No. We'll get to that at some point. We won't mention it here on the broadcast.
It's a mobster thing. You know how mobster stuff is popular now.
No, we're censored here. We can't mention what it really means.
Frank
FJB.
James Burke, man. Jimmy the Gent. That's what it is.
Man, no.
That's one of my favorite movies. I can understand why people would like that.
Oh, okay.
Eric Fiorello up 10. He's kind of hanging in there, despite dropping back a little bit after that last caution. Still up 10 positions. He is your hard charger of the race. Holding on to P5, but nothing set in stone up here. We got Joe Neidick running right next to him. Looks like he's maybe going to make that pass. Oh, man, they're battling hard.
That they are, as Alan Dixon coming out of pit road, so I guess he got all of his damage that he needed to get done, and put some laps in, because hey, you never know how this thing might finish up and steal a couple positions here late if some more extracurriculars go on.
Yeah, and good for him. This guy never complains, Alan Dixon. He's just happy-go-lucky, it seems like. He was involved in an incident that really shouldn't have involved him, and it kind of sucks for him, but I'm glad to see him at least back out there fighting for one or two spots that he could probably pick up here.
Yeah, definitely not a good day for him, as he was running so well, and just for something like that to befall him, of no making of his own, it's kind of a crappy thing to see happen to somebody that was up there running and was a contender, But hey, man, that's what racing's all about. That's what happens. That's why we watch it. And, another reason we do this, it's not just the fans, it's not just the drivers on the track, but the sponsors. Severe Weather Country Expeditions. If you guys ever watch the Storm Chaser stuff on TV and think, man, I'd love to go try that, or just ride along with them and go see some of the crazy destructive, scary weather that North America has to offer. Go check them out on Facebook, check them out on the internet. They do have a website as well. I don't have it in front of me, but I know they do have a Facebook page. Go check them out. Look at the reviews, man. Everybody that goes on these expeditions with them has a great time. And it's something you'll never forget. It'll stay with you the rest of your life. Severe Weather Country Expeditions.
Yeah, they track down a bunch of miles. If it's happening, they're going to find it. And the time of year that this weather happens, they know how to find it and where to find it. You're going to see something. I can promise you that. If it's from North Dakota to Texas, you'll be there with that group, and go check them out. And if you're into adrenaline, something crazy, that's probably right up your alley.
As we approach here, lap number 109, slowly ticking these things away. We're going to take a quick break for some station identification, and we'll be right back with the remainder of this race, and we're just going to have to wait and see how this thing all shakes out. We got an interesting top three going on right now, but this race has yet to be decided, so you all will definitely want to stick around and find out.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Once again, 2 series for us here, the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup Series. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Rockingham 150 brought to you by Jinx Shifters. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Jason over here, Signature Esports.
And welcome back, everybody, to this first round playoff race for the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup Series. Back here live watching Tony Fry make a pass on Derek Schimmel. And, I mean, he's got a whole slew of cars sitting right there behind him as well. So Derek might be starting to maybe slip his way back as Taver Mowry coming down pit road.
William Brown, Joe Neidick also takers. Justin Barkley, Matt Forens. So these guys that are sitting kind of towards the back end of that lead lap, they kind of have the advantage in that they see these guys ducking off in the pits, and it's kind of a red flag to them saying, man, I got to go too.
Yeah, that's another piece of strategy here that we're not totally privy to. We kind of guess. We don't like to get in the drivers' heads before the race because we don't want to give it all away. These guys are definitely thinking about this.
Oh, get her checked up there, Mike Simone, as he comes down pit road. Maybe a little hot, but I think he got it checked up in time before that first time in line.
Well, I saw cones flying, so that was cool.
Speeding ticket might hurt him here. Let's see if he has to come in and serve a penalty. I did a little digging, Adam. I know you came from a journalism background. Frank J. Barone Funeral Home is in Brooklyn, New York. That could be where we see the hashtag FJB on a couple of cars. I think it's Frank J. Barone Funeral Home. I think that may be the sponsor of a couple of those north-south cars. So, Frank J. Barone Funeral Home in Brooklyn, New York, 4502 Avenue D, Brooklyn, New York, 11203. Check them out.
Okay. Yeah, well, like I said, we'll get into that. I'm very big on current events, you know.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So we'll talk about that after the race. I don't want to get into it. You know, it's a highly divided country we have here, and FJB. I mean,
well, I mean, everybody's got
obviously it means let's go, Brandon.
Well, everybody's got
obvious,
you know. So funeral homes, you know, that's a big
true.
industry.
Hey, you could be right. You know, you're changing my mind on this topic.
So Pam Malman on Facebook saying go Taver and go Joe. She's pulling for some Ohio boys up there. Maybe family, maybe friends.
As Taver right now getting his lap back from kind of cycling through the pits. Tony Fry has not pitted yet, so I wonder if he's just going to stick to that kind of drive it out strategy, but he's going to be losing a ton of time here as we're going to be approaching 30 laps to go here in just a moment.
Yeah, he might be one of those guys that's just holding out for a caution because, I mean, why not? You know, do something different. If you're near the rear, do something different. Maybe hope for a caution. You might get it.
The only cautions we've seen have been basically on purpose, so I don't see it happening, at least at this point in the race. He's 2.5 seconds off his best lap, so I think it's time for him to come down.
Max Westenscow, thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. He said that storm chasing has got to be some crazy stuff. And, oh, man, I can't even imagine being on one of those ride-alongs. But if you want to check it out, go to Severe Weather Country Expeditions. Check them out on Facebook and, you know, just Google them. You'll find them real quick. And I know you'll like what you see as the 25 was the outside wall there. Ooh, that was close for Eric.
Just maybe sneaking a little extra couple inches from the wall there that he didn't know he had.
Well, they're fighting now at this point. You know, you got to do what you can to stay in this chase.
Is finally in. He lost almost 2.5 seconds off his best time, staying out there on those old tires. But he's finally in to get some fresh ones.
Yeah, he's talking about our sponsor. If you want to swim with sharks, you like swimming with sharks, jumping out of planes, you know, being shot with a bulletproof vest or something. This is your kind of thing.
Bungee jumping, skydiving.
Yeah, that you would like this storm chasing thing.
Demolition derby. I don't know what else you could put in there.
Definitely check out that sponsor.
As things slowly cycle back around, Justin Malarkey back up into the lead. He was able to get around Taver Mowry there. Looks like William Brown is slowly hunting down Taver right now himself, trying to sneak his way up into kind of like a top 2 contender spot.
So Greg Klein just got new tires about 7 laps ago. He is your last car on the lead lap right now. Just past Anthony Fry, who was in the pits. He's got a tough road to hoe here. He's got a lot of cars to pass, so these guys up front, as we start to take these laps off, Alan, I don't know if these guys got enough time to catch these leaders.
No, I think this is going to be one of those cases where those little mistakes and what have you that you did earlier on in the race that lost you some time, yeah, you might have gotten it back a little bit with that caution, but it's kind of looking like you're just dug yourself a little bit too much of a hole here. As just kind of looking at the pit time for Greg Klein was a little longer than normal, so he might have been staying in and getting some damage fixed, as well as kind of looking at his lap times. His lap times aren't looking so hot as well.
Yeah, something's going on with his car, but watch the 70s. Steve McComas come up on the 10 of the Matt Forens in the Rainier beer car, and right behind them is Derek Schimmel in the Mountain Dew machine. That angry guy, they're trying to pass Matt Forens here for 10th place.
48 got around the 8 with no incident that time. Good to see that. Max, thanks so much for the compliment on YouTube. We appreciate it. You guys are the reason we do this out here. So thanks for watching our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch tonight. Tune in next week where we'll be at North Wilkesboro, I believe, for the Cup race. So, and that's a cutoff race too. So 4 guys are gonna be eliminated out of the playoffs. So you guys stay tuned for that. Got Xfinity action coming to you on Monday night too. Tune in, same time, same bat time, same bat station. Xfinity action. I love the Xfinity cars. I don't know about you guys, but those guys, they know how to wheel a car, and they're probably the most fun cars to drive in this league.
As up ahead of Derek Schimmel and McComas and that kind of crew, we got Eric Fiorello and Michael Pampere racing for 7th. Looks like Eric Fiorello will have that spot right now, but he's also got the 22 of Justin Barkley sitting right there in front of him, looking up to the inside, trying to make that pass and sneak his way up to a top 6. Side by side they go as they go down this back straightaway.
That straightaway is awesome too. It's long. It goes right into a high bank turn 3. It's tight, but I mean, if you got new tires, you can run it wide open. We've seen it.
And like Eric Fiorello just needs to, I think a top 10, top 5 would be perfect for him, as he's working pretty hard out there.
That he is still just not able to get around that 22. Kind of looking like that outside line's been something to definitely contend with. I knew there was a couple grooves around this racetrack, but didn't know it was quite like this.
And the upper line looks like it. I don't know if it's rubbered in or these guys just figured out how to run it. After 130 laps of going around this joint, but a couple of the guys are pretty loyal to that top line and making it work.
Yeah, well, the track temp has come down about 12 degrees. We're at 80 degrees on the track. That could have something to do with it. And he's talking about the joint. How far is Joliet from here?
I don't know. You have to ask Belushi. He's not around anymore.
Well, I'd love to. I'd love to have a conversation.
Wasn't he locked up down there?
Well, he was in Blues Brothers, the movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're on the same
Joliet,
page.
Joliet's also the county, isn't it? No, it's Cook County. It's Cook
Yeah.
County has Joliet's the town where the prison's at, I think. So we might be right next door to the prison here. This track, I don't know.
I would hope so. Convicts everywhere here in Chicago. I'm sorry.
Ooh, 22, 21, and 25 all running together. Look at the 96 running to the inside of McComas. Come on, Derek. Hashtag let's go Derek, maybe. I don't know. He's looking at the inside of the 70.
It just doesn't have the ring to it.
No, it really doesn't. That's a battle for 10th.
That is, as
Battle.
we're now less than 20 laps away from putting this one officially in the books.
Yeah.
As
Big
the-
dust up right here for, what is this, for 6th, 7th, and 8th? These guys are all over each other.
And not too far in front of him, you got a little battle going on between the 24 of Joe Nidick and the 27 of Mike Simone.
And we talk about it a lot, Adam, but these guys have raced around each other for quite a while. We talk about Midwest Days of Thunder being a progressive league, a progression league, I should say. Starting out ARCA, going to Truck, Xfinity Cup. So you get to really know the guys that you're racing around, and there's a lot of friendships and stuff that have developed in this league. It's really incredible how much these guys. It's almost like a family. These guys, huh?
No, I think so, and there's some hatred, but with all family stuff, there's going to be a little anger, right? That's
Yeah,
the
me
cool
and my
part.
brother used to punch each other. I mean,
Yeah, mine he threw a dart at me one time, hit me in the leg. It was,
God.
yeah, it was pretty brutal. But yeah, no, family and hate. That's kind of what we live for here. But once the dust settles, I think they all kind of square it away.
Oh yeah.
But they will remember it for the next week, which is fun. It's like real NASCAR racing. This is a simulation, not a game. As Eric Fiorello just pulls away from Michael Pimpere and Justin Barkley there.
If you're looking for a place to race, you're looking for an organization to join. The league racing gets no better than right here at Midwest Days of Thunder. Look them up on the iRacing League directory. It's all levels here, folks. You got guys that are really good racers, guys that are beginners. They're all racing together. They advance together. They learn together. It's a very helpful community. I think you'll really enjoy it.
As we're now 14 laps away from taking that checkered flag. Justin Malarkey building himself a nice pocket of a lead, about 5 seconds right now over Taver Mowry, who still has William Brown just hovering and waiting on that back bumper.
Yeah, well, Justin Malarkey's crew chief, I think he got his packets back. He's back in here helping him out. And that's the cool thing about having a teammate that can be your crew chief, spotter, and all that stuff. Real-time human being, not just a computer telling you where to go, but a person. I think that helps Malarkey out quite a bit here in this series.
iRacing is one of those cool platforms that it's how involved you want to be into it, how realistic you want it to be. You can race with a controller. Please don't do that though. Get a cheap wheel, to put on a desktop and start with a cheap wheel and pedals and work your way up. And there's really no limit as to how involved in this. I want to call it a sport. I mean, it's an e-sport. It's a hobby. It's a really cool thing to get into. And if you're thinking about getting into iRacing and you've never looked at it, look no farther than right here. Talk to some of these guys. They'll definitely tell you that it's a lot of fun. You build a lot of camaraderie with people, and it's good, clean fun, as we like to say.
a lot cheaper than buying a real race car, as we all
You
know.
ain't kidding.
So, and it gives you kind of the same satisfaction, you know. So, I love this sport or e-sport or whatever we call it, simulation. It's super fun. A lot of cool people you meet here, especially in this. And we've met a lot of cool people in other series, but this series here, these guys got it together.
This league is the heat, man.
Yeah, hats off to Tabor Mowry for putting on a good show and putting
And
this
the
whole
admins
thing together.
that diligently work on trying to make everything better in this league. I'm sure I'll miss out on some of them, but Matt Forns, Derek Schimmel, Michael Pimpere. There's a couple other guys that do admin duties, and the Grumpy Gramps guys are coming over now. They're helping out with admin duties too. Grandpa Bill, Grandpa Cecil. So those guys are coming over, and they are now ambassadors for this league. So thanks to those guys for coming on and helping out, because it's a big job. It takes some, like you say, boots on the ground and a lot of hands in the pie working the dough, you know?
Yeah, and push this thing out. These broadcasts, push them out to your friends, your coworkers. It's actually like watching a real sport. As Brown, what do you think 5 has here for the 48? Looks like he's playing a blocking game here with Tabor and William Brown.
Well, I think he's just putting his car where he thinks the 48 wants to put his car, and so therefore 48 can't put his car there.
That's a good. Wow, that was pretty.
Meanwhile, Malarkey's got a 6.5 second lead on him. I mean,
Right,
he's
well,
just running away.
yeah, well, these two might as well fight for it. I like what Tabor's doing.
Hell yeah.
And Brown basically explained it for the dumb people like me, and that's exactly what he's doing.
I've got my hand raised as well. I can't see it because I am dumb, and I know you can't see it.
I mean, so one of the other things too, these guys are, just watching that clock, watching these laps, and realizing we're approaching 6 laps to go here to chase down a 6, almost 7 second gap now to try to get up to that car, in 6 laps on old tires. That's probably not going to happen. So I'm sure Tabor's already looking ahead and being like, man, if I get a solid finish here, like a second place finish here, that takes a lot of pressure off for next week. Of if not guaranteeing him if he has a bad race that he's still gonna move on, but it alleviates that pressure where he can just run a okay average race and he'll be all right.
Yeah, because points are a big deal. Oh no, the 21 and the 64 got together. Everybody saved it though. I was just about to say too. It looks like we're gonna go green the rest of the race. And two cars doored each other a little bit there, but
Don't jinx us, but
I'm not going to.
We put it on the flip side, Mr. Brown. The 48 looks like he could dump the number 5 if he wanted to at some point during this little...
Why would he do that?
I'm just saying, it could happen. So, you see he's really on his tail there, and what do you think his mindset would be in this situation?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Is anger a mindset? Because that would make me angry. If you did that to me,
I don't think he will. I'm just saying, I think he has the opportunity here.
70 going inside of the 21, as the 22 and the 21 had a pretty good battle going. 21 kind of backed out of it, kind of gave up the ship there, and the 70 went inside of him.
Oh, as the two cars in
22
front of them are
64.
side by side, trading some paint, trading some rubber as they go wheel to wheel.
I love watching this close action.
It's pretty good here at the end, right? Kind of what we predicted.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we'll get to use a green-white checker or two. I'd love that.
So we're quickly approaching the end of this thing. We've now got 2 laps remaining. So just Malarkey, not going to say it, Yes, I will. Looks like he's going to walk away pretty easily with a win here, and he's going to advance right on through to the next round of the playoffs. I mean, we've seen Malarkey just about all year dominate. I mean, there's a reason why he was your kind of regular season points winner on that front. So, as we do take the white flag through turns 1 and 2, Justin Malarkey's got that like 8-second gap. He's well clear and everything in hand. I believe everyone's got enough fuel, so shouldn't have too much action going on back here as he comes through turns 3 and 4 and looking to come across the line for the first win here in the playoffs, going to the 73 of Justin Malarkey.
Avery Mowry and William Brown are going to round out your podium. And Tavor's been searching for a win. I'm sure he's going to be pretty damn happy with the second place here tonight.
Yeah, and I think William Brown just played it safe there. You know, at the end. Oh, he's tapping him here. It's a love tap, it looks like. But, hey, super cool stuff at the end. And this just pushes us into these playoffs. And I don't know who's going to be the beneficiary and who's going to be the on the bad end of this, but good race, boys.
Heck yeah.
We sit here and watch Justin Malarkey do some burnouts for the fans.
Hopefully we'll get some podium finishers come up into our channel here so we can interview them. Man, this race, I was kind of concerned that there'd be too much single file and not enough action tonight. I was definitely proven wrong. As we had a lot of stuff to watch all over the track, not just lead cars, but cars that were fighting to stay on the lead lap. Middle of the pack stuff was going on. Man, I loved it. Chicagoland is going to make my list as one of those must-watch races of the year.
Yeah, for like what we call a cookie cutter track, it's a little different, and it was fun. I was surprised too. So I'm looking forward to next week. That little short track, it's gonna make men out of the boys, so they say.
Well, and you know, it's the drivers that make the race. You know, it's not the track itself. It's how the drivers that have been chosen to come up to this Cup Series. It's how they race it, and these guys do one hell of a job racing around this track and making it interesting and entertaining the fans out there. And we appreciate everybody that tuned in on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. Thank y'all so much for watching. And hopefully we get some interviews in here pretty soon.
And I was going to say, there you go, Miss Pam. You got Tavor up there in second.
Yeah.
As also Joe, not too bad himself there. He finished there fourth.
I'm going to put a little message in the Cup chat to make sure we got some guys that are going to come up here.
Yeah, Joe finished kind of where he started, fourth place. Good job for him. And I'm just wondering what happened to Greg Klein. Tough night for him. His car was running really hot all night until he had some kind of incident. He'll be out there for next week. I know that for sure. We'll get him down here and talk to him.
All right, sorry for the delay, folks. It's there's one.
That's how it goes.
There's one. So we'll talk to our race number 1 winner here, and that's going to be the 73 of Justin Malarkey, securing his ticket into the second round here early. which is something we talked about early on as this thing got started. Was you got to finish well to start off the playoffs right, and man, there's no better way to start this off than with a win here in the playoff number one.
Yeah, that definitely going to North Wilkesboro next week. You never know, short track could get crazy. So yeah, definitely. I mean, this is my favorite track. I love this place. So it was so nice to be able to come here to first race of the playoffs. I just love being at this place.
We noticed a little bit of connection issues with your
Oh yeah,
spotter slash crew chief of Isaac. I'm sure he was pretty frustrated with it, but
yeah, slash fuel, man. I don't know if you noticed, but we went into pits and I never got gas until like 10 seconds into the stop. So
oh no,
yeah, that first caution there, when he got kicked like 2 minutes before, and it somehow turned off the fuel. But luckily we caught it right when we were on pit road, but it made the stay like 20 seconds. I'm like, oh, luckily the caution came out because we were like 10 seconds back afterwards. But yeah, Adam, I know he was mad.
Adam, maybe you need to tell Isaac about the trick about the aluminum foil on the antenna of your Wi-Fi thing, or what?
Yeah, you got to do that for what you can tell Isaac to do that next time he has an issue. Use aluminum foil, but hey, no surprise. You're up top, you're up front, and like you said, I think for next week is going to be a crapshoot. So to get this win under your belt, you can kind of cruise next week and try to just have fun, right?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely had a lot of fun tonight too at this place. The first 30 laps were crazy. The track was so different in the beginning. I was so loose, and at one time I almost went through the infield and lost like 5 spots, and it was just crazy. And then finally around like lap 30, 35, it started tightening up a little bit. But it was just crazy how much the track changed with the sun going in and out.
Hey, congrats, dude, and do your shout-outs. We've done it before with you, so who you got to talk to tonight?
Yeah, well, let's see. I know everyone's up watching the football game at my nephew's, so they're going to be tuning in. They probably already started it, so hopefully they'll be calling me in an hour or so, and when they get to the end, hopefully they're excited. And thanks to you guys, and definitely shout out to Mike, because he made these cool paint schemes with the red spoilers for everyone, so hopefully gave you guys something cool to talk about with all the nice paint schemes he did for people. So shout out to him for you taking his time doing that.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
All right,
and
well,
shout out to you guys. Thanks for doing all this.
Thanks, man. We enjoy it.
Good. Good.
Yeah, so we'll let you go for this week, buddy. But again, congratulations punching that ticket and getting the win here today.
Real quick, how hard was it for people to break the draft? I felt like it took forever out there. That draft was crazy. Like, you guys noticed that a lot?
It did. It looked, man, it was kind of one of those things where if you had the draft and saved tires, you could be there for a while, but
yeah, that's why I wanted to pit right after they did. I didn't want to have the lap older tires and then them get to me with the draft with the 1 lap newer tires. It was just so weird how that draft is just so strong.
But yeah, no. So we'll see you later.
Yeah.
2-second difference between old tires and new tires. I know what he's talking about, man, because that was pretty nuts.
Let's move on down in the racing order here, and that's going to be Mr. P2 here tonight, Taver Mowry. Congratulations here, Taver, picking up a second place finish in the first round of the playoffs, which is going to alleviate some pressure for next week, not having to kind of force the issue too much points-wise. But, man, we've seen you run well, up there, top 10, occasionally sneak it up to the top 5, but finally being able to sneak out a podium in that. Talk about a great spot to do it.
Yeah. Coming into this race, we put some practice in. I changed up a little bit of what I've been normally doing, and me and Joey's been talking a lot about what we could do to kind of make ourselves a little bit better on the long runs, and we've kind of figured something out, and it's really helped. I know last week at Homestead I finished P4, but I was really in third, second, fourth, the whole kind of race there, so I'm really excited about the finish tonight. Wasn't really expecting a P2, but the way with the events and everything that unfolded tonight kind of fell in my lap. And, with anything in the Cup Series, you kind of got to take advantage of the opportunity. And that's what we did tonight.
And up 9 spots. that's nothing to sneeze at. That's quite an accomplishment. And Miss Pam was on Facebook cheering for you. So
Oh yeah,
she was pulling
that's
for you all night.
yeah, man. That's my biggest supporter. That's my grandma. Love her to death. Wouldn't be the man I am today without her. So.
And I tell you what, that's something we love to see as family and friends and coworkers and stuff. People from all walks of life that support their friends on here doing this, and we sure enjoyed watching you move up through the field tonight. What sponsor are you running on that 5 machine this week? I didn't quite see it.
I got the Hyphy Life sponsor on the front of the hood. Cali Muscle fan. Cali Muscle's the GOAT. You gotta summon that rhino every now and then and put that Hyphy mud in your blood. So I put that Hyphy mud in my blood today and got that P2.
Yeah, it worked for you.
Well, that sounds like Chinese, whatever you're just saying there, but I'll go with it. I'll go with it. Hey, congrats, man. P2. It was actually a really cool race to watch. We had some fireworks and all that, and we'll talk about that later. But man, good job. You were just consistent. And P2, that's going to push you right into that next round, hopefully, if you can survive next week at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, man, that's huge. So like I said earlier, really wasn't looking to finish P2, but did, so it's take a huge amount of pressure off of me going into Wilkesboro. I'm actually really decent at Wilkesboro.
Oh, good.
The whole team is actually really good at Wilkesboro. At one point during the race, I think we were 1, 2, 3, 4 for 60 laps there. So we're really looking forward to it. We had some people tonight try to take Latte out of the race, but like I said last week with Michelob and everybody, when the adversity comes to us, we rise to the occasion, baby. So 2, 3, 4 for us tonight. Couldn't be prouder of the team.
Awesome.
Excellent, man. Excellent. Well, do you got any shout-outs before we let you go?
Yeah, thanks to my grandma. Like I said, wouldn't be the man I am today without her. Thanks to my teammates, wouldn't be what I am, the racer I am today. Thanks for Joey to, being the coolest uncle ever. And thanks to my mom and dad.
Alrighty. Well, again, congratulations, P2 here tonight. Mr. Taver Mowry, we look forward to seeing you next week, man.
Yep, thank you guys.
All right, and now to our third place finisher. That's going to be the 48 of Mr. William Brown. Solid race here. Saw you running up front a little bit, and had some shenanigans that I'll leave to Adam Turner to talk about because I know that's his thing. But man, still to finish P3 is such a pretty good accomplishment. I mean, we saw you on those longer runs, man. You were just hauling butt and on rails, but it looked like definitely kind of towards the end were tires like a big thing because it looked like you were having problems trying to get around Taver a little bit.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the way I ended up finishing third place after just that long race, and there were some misunderstandings, I assume, and some shenanigans, if you want to put it that way. I had some damage I had to repair and stuff like that. I definitely didn't have a clean car, so I think my back half of the race was a little slower than the first half. But tire wear was a big deal here. That first run, you could kind of see who burned it up a little early and who kind of saved a little bit for the back half of the run. And me trying to run down Taver at the end, I kind of knew I had damage and I wasn't going to race him for second place. He's my teammate. He's in the championship. I get nothing out of getting second place. I'm not going to sit here and risk trying to race, a teammate and possibly get into him like, what happened earlier in the race where I think there was net code and it, ruined somebody's race. I'm not trying to get into that kind of hairy situation. So third place was good enough for me, and that's just how I wanted to run.
Well, we talk about a lot of the guys that run up front, and not just the guys that run up front, but guys running all through the pack have people that come on social media and support them on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. You had a great supporter tonight in Max Westonskow. I hope I'm saying the name right. But Max was supporting you the entire race and was really excited that you finished third. Do you have any shout-outs to any of your friends or family or coworkers, anybody that's out there watching you on social media tonight?
Max, he comes out here like you said, and he's a friend of mine. He watches these plenty of times. I know he gets out there and gets interactive with you guys, and you guys respond back to him and everything. And plenty of the other viewers who get interactive with the broadcast. So big shout out to Max. He comes on here a lot and interacts with all that, and really pulls for me. I appreciate it. A few other friends I've got Kelton, I've got Devin, Darren that I usually send these to. I don't think they get as interactive or really say anything, but I appreciate them for watching. Teammates, I got Taver and Joe here who run Cup with me, and I can't ask for better teammates. We pulled a 2, 3, 4 finish today, and I'm super proud of that.
That's awesome.
So,
congrats on the P3.
And you did an awesome job. And I'm that guy, so I'm gonna get into it. You came up high, looked like, and you hit the 8. I don't think it was intentional by any means, but the 8 got angry at you, and then something happened there in the race. What was your thought process going through, as all that kind of unfolded?
So it was about lap 22. I already reviewed what happened just to get a better understanding, because I could only experience it through my cockpit. I didn't really see. I can't see what others might see. So I kind of looked back. I came down. I was on the apron, and naturally a car will come up coming out of a turn. I think I was halfway up on the next seam, and I don't think he had a really good turn. He was turning really good coming out of turn, and his car wasn't really sailing up as much as mine was. So we got close. It kind of looks to me like there was a little bit of netcode that sucked us together, because I feel like if there wasn't, we would have just scraped and touched, and it wouldn't have been a big deal. But it seemed to have kind of, in my car, it kind of jumped a little bit. It felt like my right side of my car kind of lifted off the ground, it caught a snag or something, and then I know it threw him into the wall and kind of junked his car. So I felt really bad. He's racing for a championship. I'm not. So I'm not trying to race someone hard and put them in a deficit. That's not my goal. I wouldn't want to do that to anybody. And I'm sure what you're really wanting to know is probably what I was thinking later in the race, coming up to him, if I thought he was going to race me hard or get, maybe some revenge. I was kind of expecting it, but I wasn't sure, and he did get me. So I don't know if he had a chance to see what happened yet. I don't know what his stance is at this point. I apologize that netcode happened, if that's what it is, or if I got into him, if that's what it is. Hopefully he accepts my apology. But
we did.
Cooler heads prevailed. Hey, it worked out. It was unfortunate, but I just wanted a little explanation. I think you had a great explanation of that, and good job, dude. You toughed it out.
I try to race as clean as I can. I might make a move every once in a while, but tell me a single person in this league who hasn't.
Absolutely.
I'm still racing to be competitive and to have a good time and put up a good finish, even if I'm not in the championship. If you're not trying to do that, then I don't know why you're out here trying to compete against other people. And
we did see a couple of cars that during the what appeared to be maybe some retaliation that got involved in that, and
Joe and Alan, I hated to see that, because when you do see like a retaliation situation come into play, it's the people who had nothing to do with it that you feel bad for the most. And championship contenders, Joe was luckily able to pull a good finish off, Alan not so much. So you just hate to see it, no matter who you are, when they get, people who aren't involved get involved.
Well, congrats on the what did you finish, P3?
P3.
Yeah, congrats on the P3, man, and looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Good stuff, man. Thank you.
All right, boys. Alrighty. Hopefully that scratched your itch a little bit there, Adam. But
I just like to get in these guys' heads and see what they were thinking. And
Yeah, man,
I think he gave a great explanation to what was going on out on the track, because we're not out there, we're just watching. So cool stuff.
absolutely. So let's tell you where everybody finished out, because things did take a little bit of time to kind of straighten out here, as this race has now come officially to a close. That's going to be Justin Malarkey walking away with the win with the punch ticket to the second round, with Taver Mowry having a great race. I believe he's the hard charger of the night, up 9 spots, finishing in second. William Brown also had a decent night, up 6, going to finish here in third. Joe Nidick as well had a great night, finishing here fourth. Mike Simone, pretty good, finishing with a top 5, with Tony Fry finishing here 6th. You got Justin Barkley finishing 7th, with Stephen McComas in 8th. You got Michael Pimpere in 9th, and rounding out that top 10, Eric Fiorillo.
The 96 of Derek Schemmel starting in 16th, but finishing 11th tonight. Good job working up the field, Derek, for a solid finish. The 10 of Matt Forns had a little trouble, had an unavoidable incident that he couldn't drive around him, so ended up finishing 12th. Greg Klein, we don't really know what happened with the 92 machine tonight, but was running up front for quite a few laps, and he just kind of faded away. We don't really know what happened with the 92 there, but finished 13th, still on the lead lap. The 80 of Pete Van Sprundle, 14th, 31 of Alan Dixon. Of course, we mentioned him getting caught up in an incident, and the 8 of John Nidick, also in the incident, finishing 16th place tonight.
Well, alrighty, boys. That'll kind of finish this thing up here at Chicagoland. Big special thank you to Severe Weather Country Expeditions. Definitely go check them out if you're ever wanted to experience the Storm Chaser life, or have that little bit of thrill that you kind of are looking for. That is a great place to go do it. So go check them out at severeweatherexpeditions.com, and look at their photos on Facebook. It's they don't park you, a couple of miles away. It's right there, just about right in it. So these guys definitely take care of you, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week. As Monday we got the Xfinity race, and then we got round 2 at North Wilkesboro in the Cup Series on Friday. Until then, though, that's it for tonight. I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We are signing off.
We gone.
See ya.